Welcome to this explainer. Imagine for a second what happens when a computer doesn't just record music, but actually imagines it from scratch. Today, we're taking a deep, fascinating dive into the rapidly evolving landscape of AI-generated audio. We're going to explore its technical magic, some very real practical pitfalls, and its profound impact on society. So whether you're a creator trying to speed up your workflow, or you're just kind of curious about where technology meets human culture, you are absolutely in the right place. Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap. We're going to cover the AI audio revolution, synthesizing sound, navigating commercial rights, finding the right tool for you, and then we'll wrap up with cultural folk music and the ethics of authenticity. All right, starting us off with Section 1, the AI audio revolution, from production to prediction. We are quite literally in the middle of a massive paradigm shift. Think about traditional digital audio workstations, your Abletons, your Logic Pros. You're in there manually creating and tweaking every single note. It's a workflow totally limited by human capacity, and it can take hours or even days to get a polished result. But on the flip side, AI music generators reduce that entire creation process from a heavy manual task to a lightning-fast data generation process. We're talking seconds or minutes here. It's a fundamental shift from human-limited workflows to automatic, infinitely scalable sound synthesis. You're not writing notes anymore, you're setting probability constraints with text prompts that guide the AI on how to predict the track. Moving right along to Section 2, how AI synthesizes sound, looking under the hood. So why do these new tools sound so wildly different from the clunky computer music we grew up with? Well, we can break the intelligence down into a few tiers. We're miles beyond those old-school rule-based MIDI loops that were hyper-predictable and had zero audio realism. Today, we're playing in the major leagues, deep neural networks and multi-model engines. Because they've learned from massive datasets, these advanced systems don't just copy and paste loops, they mathematically predict musical behavior. That's how the AI knows to add those tiny micro-timing variations instead of rigid robotic rhythms. It's a complex ecosystem of algorithms working together to synthesize something that feels incredibly, almost unsettlingly real. Let's get into the business side. Section 3, navigating commercial use rights, the murky waters of licensing. Personal, non-commercial use only. Man, you have no idea how many creators fall right into this exact copyright trap when they use so-called free or unlimited AI tools. It happens all the time. You generate a killer track on a free tier, you absolutely love it, and you drop it straight into a YouTube video, completely unaware that you just breached the software's license. So, what actually counts as commercial use? Well, it's way broader than you might think. Basically, it's any use tied to money or business value. We're talking YouTube ad revenue, client or agency work, social media marketing, or even just background music for a mobile app or a podcast. The rule of thumb here is simple. If there's even a tiny, remote chance your project will earn a single dollar, you absolutely have to secure a platform that gives you explicit commercial, royalty-free licensing. Do not rely on marketing slogans. You've got to read the actual terms of service. Okay, Section 4, the right tool for you, matching platform to production. Now that we know what to look for legally, how do you choose the right generator? The market is totally flooded right now. But it's not about finding the app with the most features. It's about matching the tool directly to your specific workflow. For instance, 11 Labs is absolutely incredible for highly realistic, layered environmental textures and cinematic sound effects. But if you need to pull individual audio stems and want bulletproof commercial paperwork, Music Maker app is geared specifically for those pro workflows. Then you have Magic Hour, which is a total powerhouse if you're in video production, giving you automated lip syncing and voice cloning. And if you just need some fast, beginner-friendly beats for a quick social media short, SoundDraw is going to be your best bet. Let's zoom out a bit. Section 5, AI and cultural folk music, the algorithm meets tradition. You see, folk music is entirely different from commercial pop. It's built on oral tradition, communal rituals, and deeply rooted identity. But AI models today can generate a perfect Irish jig, an Indian garba, West African drumming, or, and this is a real thing, an Islamic nasheed celebrating traditional Danish meatballs, all in mere seconds. These models are blending cultures in ways we've literally never seen before. But it really forces us to ask, does this algorithm actually capture the soul of these cultures, or is it just highly convincing mathematical mimicry? If we look at this impartially, a really fascinating dynamic emerges. On one side, traditional folk music relies on human instruments, oral history, and profound emotional expression. It's music inextricably tied to lived human experience. On the other side, the AI relies on data-trained models, synthetic instrumentation, and algorithmic emotion modeling. Sure, right in the middle, they share the exact same melodic motifs and rhythmic structures. The AI can absolutely map out those cultural patterns, but it gets there through controlled, calculated variability rather than spontaneous, authentic human feeling. Which brings us to our final section, Section 6, the ethics of authenticity, data versus feeling. Researchers are really grappling with this tension between preserving culture and misrepresenting it. To evaluate AI folk music, academics use assessment frameworks just like this one. They aren't just checking if the notes sound pretty, they are actively evaluating ethical and responsible AI, checking for fair dataset usage, and making sure we aren't stepping into cultural appropriation. They're checking cultural context alignment to ensure historical themes are actually respected. And crucially, they're looking at community perception by getting real feedback from expert musicians and local audiences. It is so important that AI doesn't just flatten out the rich, beautiful differences that make these regional traditions so vital. And when we actually put real numbers to these assessments, a huge gap becomes super obvious. The algorithm scored a very solid 7.8 out of 10 on melodic faithfulness. It knows the scales, it knows the complex rhythms, but it really struggled when it came to emotional expression, dropping down to just a 6.1 out of 10. Experts point out that AI consistently misses the mark on microtonality, the expressive little ornamentations, and that intricate, unpredictable human magic that only happens when a real ensemble plays together in a room. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to really chew on. We've seen how AI can completely revolutionize commercial workflows and synthesize breathtakingly realistic audio in literally seconds. But as these models learn to perfectly mimic the intricate emotional traditions of human history, what does that actually mean for the future of our own creativity? Can technology truly preserve the soul of a culture, or is it just reflecting our own data back at us like a mirror? It is an incredibly exciting time to be a creator, for sure, and the boundaries between a living tradition and an algorithmic generation are only going to continue to beautifully and controversially blur. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.